Today, it's my 32nd birthday. I know, I'm getting really old, and I'm gonna be nice on my 32nd birthday. And we got 32 NHL teams. We're gonna say something nice about each and every one of them, with an honorable mention to the Arizona Coyotes, who are no longer in the league. But I took my son to a hockey game in Arizona last year that they were there, and I got a puck for my little guy. Connor Ingram, shout out. Now he's with the Edmonton Oilers. Always remember that. Appreciate you, buddy. But we're starting off with the teams that are here. Starting with the Anaheim Ducks. Gotta love the Mighty Ducks. So that has a special place in my heart. But half the Anaheim Ducks are Rangers at this point. So, they're basically like the Rangers in the West. Over to the Boston Bruins. Boston, awesome city. TD Garden. Love going there. Shout out to the Barking Crab. Big Deck Energy. I went there. Great seafood if you're ever in Boston. Fantastic. Buffalo Sabres, upstate New York, great fan base. Love their goal horn, one of the best goal horns in the league. Kickstart my heart. And as a Jet fan, you have a special appreciation for Buffalo going through all those losing seasons. Over to the Calgary Flames, one of the best arenas in hockey. That stadium was built for hockey, and the camera angles are the best in the league in Calgary. Carolina Hurricanes, amazing fan base, but Rod Brind'Amour, probably the best coach in the league in my opinion. I truly believe he brings that team upward and he makes that team better than they actually are. Over to the Chicago Blackhawks, got to go with Patty Kane, American hero himself. When you think Team USA, growing up, I thought Patrick Kane, unbelievable. So fun watching him to win 3 Stanley Cups, one of my favorite players of all time. Colorado Avalanche, what can you say? Nathan McKinnon, Cale Makar, so fun to watch, but they play all the small things at every home game. That's pretty cool. Over to the Columbus Blue Jackets, their goal horn, sensational with the cannons and everything. Love to hear it. Also, shout out to Johnny Gaudreau. God bless you. We miss you down here. Dallas Stars, I just love the way this team plays. They always seem to find a way. They have great general managing, and they're just a well-run organization. And I picked them to get over the hump this year. Hopefully they do. Over to the Detroit Red Wings, Original Six, one of the staples for me growing up, making the playoffs 25 straight years, a model of consistency, a 9-year playoff drought right now, but hopefully they get back to it. To the Edmonton Oilers, 2 fantastic players in Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. Really fun to watch. Love seeing these guys play. And of course, I mentioned before, Connor Ingram, special place in my heart for getting my little guy a puck. The Florida Panthers, some love them, some hate them. I love their style. It's a winning style. They're fantastic. They're gritty, tough. Matthew Tkachuk changed that franchise around. And they're back-to-back champs for a reason. Probably not this year, though. Over to the LA Kings. Well, I really can't like them because they beat the Rangers in the 2014 Stanley Cup. But Artemi Panarin, he's now king. But I'm going to go with Kopitar, one of the most underrated players in a generation. Really a fantastic centerman and maybe a borderline Hall of Famer. We'll have to see if he gets in. Congratulations on a great career. Over to the Minnesota Wild. One of my favorite players to watch is Matt Boldy. I love him. I wanted the Rangers to draft him in 2019. They didn't. They drafted Capo Caca. That worked out. But Matt Boldy scored a goal in the gold medal game. Not the game winner, but still ever important. Love the way that kid plays. Future Stanley Cup winner, in my opinion. Over to the Montreal Canadiens. I love this team. Great fan base. Love Marty St. Louis. Lane Hudson, unbelievable. Really just an amazing defenseman. So fun to watch that kid. Caulfield, Suzuki, what can you say? Nashville Predators. Nashville's really an awesome arena if you ever get a chance to go to. The great vibes, great fan base, great just goal horn chanting and whatnot like that. It's really fun. If you've ever been to Nashville, I highly recommend going. Over to the New Jersey Devils, well, it's got to be Jack Hughes. American hero, game-winning goal. I mean, outside of that, not much. New York Islanders. Well, I'm a Long Island native, so, I got to appreciate that. And UBS Arena was 5 minutes away from where I went to elementary school, so I really appreciate having a team in my backyard. Over to the New York Rangers, my favorite team. I gotta say, they have the most loyal fan base that travels on the road. I never seen a fan base in really any sport travel like them. No matter what arena it is, there's about 30% Ranger fans. They're loyal, they're faithful, they're all over the country, and they definitely travel in bunches. The Ottawa Senators, I love their style of play. Tim Stützle is so good. I think he's one of the most underrated players in the league. And Brady Tkachuk, again, another Tkachuk brother, fun to watch. Really, hopefully, will lead Ottawa to better things in the future. For the Philadelphia Flyers, one of my favorite players to watch was Trevor Zegras, former New York native. I think he's had a great bounce back year. One fun player to watch and a really amazing in the shootout. As for the Pittsburgh Penguins going down there, I got a special love for Cheeseburger Phil the Thrill. Cheeseburger Phil Kessel, gotta love him. 2 Stanley Cups with Pittsburgh. Iron Man himself. One of my favorite players on Pittsburgh. But I also appreciate Sidney Crosby, who's been really a true professional and just a winner in this league. Over to the San Jose Sharks, it's got to be Macklin Celebrini. Macklin Celebrini is unbelievable. Fantastic kid. Just really a sensational performer. And he's the future of the National Hockey League. Over to the Seattle Kraken, one of the newest franchises in the league. And honestly, I like their jerseys. I like their color scheme. And those black jerseys are one of the best in the league. Really solid design. And I like it a lot. Over to the St. Louis Blues. The St. Louis Blues that 2019 Cup team is one of just the most fantastic underdog stories you will ever see. Really awesome to watch. And you know what? They always surprise you and got a great fan base as well. The Tampa Bay Lightning, honestly, I love Victor Hedman. I love Steven Stamkos when he was there. But Kucherov continues to be one of the most underrated players of this generation. People talk McDavid, people talk McKinnon, but Kucherov really doesn't get enough love, and he should win the Hart Trophy this year. Over to the Toronto Maple Leafs. They're the team that make me feel better being a Ranger fan, but Toronto has the best fan base in Canada. They're unbelievable. They're loyal. They've been through hell and back, and yet they are still one of the best in the league. And great arena, great energy always in that arena, but hopefully they can end that drought because those fans deserve it. Over to the Utah Mammoth, one of the nicest facilities in the league, and honestly, probably my favorite jerseys. I like the color scheme. I like the black, the blue, the white. Works out really, really well. They got a state-of-the-art training facility, and it's really cool to see. Over to the Vancouver Canucks. I honestly appreciate that they lost the 1994 Stanley Cup Finals so that the Rangers could win. But in all seriousness, they are just right now a rebuilding team. But that team in 2024 was really exciting to watch with Quinn Hughes, with JT Miller, Bo Horvat, and Pettersson before he fell off the face of the earth. But that was one of my favorite teams to watch. I was really kind of pulling for them in 2024. Over to the Vegas Golden Knights. We've never seen a team like Vegas just come up and just take over the league as an expansion team. They've been a model of consistency since they got in the league, winning the Stanley Cup, making it to 2, and making the playoffs all but 1 year of their existence. Really something they should be proud of. Washington Capitals, gotta love Ovechkin, all-time leading goal scorer, great guy, plays the game right, Stanley Cup champion, and just I like Ovi. He's one of my favorites. And finally, the Winnipeg Jets. Connor Hellebuyck. What can you say? That amazing performance in the gold medal game will always have a special place in my heart. And he's one of the best goaltenders in the league. But that's pretty much it. What did I miss? What did I do? Give a follow if you haven't. Thanks for being here on my birthday.